see you. You're on my shoulder. Yeah, I can see you.
I'm the good angel on your shoulder, Paul.
You've always been the good angel. Apart from the other night, I think you were ordering tequila. Were you ordering tequila for everyone? Did you make it tequila night?
Well, not personally. It was a request. It was my round. So you know,
right.
You got to be gracious when people are asking for it when it's your round. You know.
Okay then. Listen, we have here a very special bottling. Basically, you have managed to give us your only ever second formal age statement release. Am I right in saying that?
You are indeed correct, Paul. And it's the same age statement as well, but it is different liquid.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive for Mackmyra, Swedish distillery. You've been going on for what, 20 years now?
22 years this December.
Jesus, man. There you go. And plenty of expressions, and yet only up until now one age statement, and this is the second one. So, and
that one age statement that we released as well was done as a seasonal release. So anybody that's tuned in for the past couple of tastings I did over the weekend, that the seasonals we only released anywhere between 15 to 20,000 anyway. So again, that liquid is not mass produced per se. You look at it and you go, "Oh, 20,000 bottles, that sounds a lot," but in the grand scheme of things, that's got to go around the world, and that's not really a lot of bottles, is it? Let's be honest.
No. And what do we have? We only have about
150 exactly on the nose.
So
150 on the nose. Through at the moment, it's through Anzac, the Anzac off sales. Right. And this week we'll start to announce through our social media channels, etc. We'll start to let people know some of the other hand-selected outlets within Northern Ireland that it will be available from. As we talk at the moment, there's been already a pretty good uptake on sales as well. It goes on sale on Friday. This Friday coming. Yeah. So
that's exciting. So look, and it's great that you're working with a local Northern Ireland retail and also wholesaler. Thank you very much for that. Really great to see that you've come on from last year. Again, the progression. You didn't have any sales in Northern Ireland specific as a
nothing,
as a partner, and I think that we took last year and you've run with it. I mean, you're the one that's pushed it as well, but I've really appreciated that. The link has been strong so far. And yes, first of all, there's people who purchased all 4 of these bottles together as a package, which is really nice, and we've seen that. But yeah, I think people will take this as something very serious. I want people to drink it. I mean, the nose in this is, so different to what we just had, like a million miles away from it.
So obviously, this is the only Swedish whiskey. In fact, is it the only non-Irish whiskey as well, Paul, that's done an exclusive bottling for your line?
Oh yes, definitely.
So obviously, we couldn't just mess about and just give you anything we just had left over the warehouse, Right. So we've actually taken a couple of hand-selected casks, and we've used liquid from a 200-litre Virgin American oak cask, both from the Virgin Oak and previously Virgin Oak that we seasoned with Oloroso sherry, and we've taken a small amount of ex-bourbon there as well to make up the liquid. So it looks like it should. It's got that lovely darker amber colour about it, and it sits quite well within your 2 F glasses that you've had made for the festival as well, Paul.
Thank you.
So it looks good. So you get that familiarity straight away on the eyes. Do you know what I mean? So people that are sceptical of Swedish whiskey are like, oh, it's not Scotch and it's not Irish. Oh, does anybody really do any whiskey? Well, there is quite a big world now of world whiskey out there, and I'd like to say that we're one of the forerunners of that stuff.
It's like taste-wise, Mickey. It's got like it's got a hint of fig. Like that kind of fig with the the kind of the baking of it, the kind of the bready kind of stuff around the side of the wee fig biscuit, and it also has like a layer of I don't know how to describe it. It's like a bramble or something, like a kind of nearly a gooseberry, but it's a bramble. There's a little tiny bit of sourness, which is really nice. It's not uber sweet, which is lovely. It's got a little bit of sourness. I've got a bit of sharpness and a bit of bite to it.
Nose is interesting.
That bit of bite, that little bit of creation you get on the tongue. That's that Virgin Oak influence. You're going to pick up those those woodier notes. That's going to give you that spiciness, that little bit more, because and other liquids haven't been in it before.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I love the nose on it. I'm getting like nice hints of like toasted pecans and a bit of marzipan on the nose that are coming kind of on the back. Like obviously there's a lot more breadiness and stuff on the front of the nose, but when you're really getting down deep into it, it's very, very nice. Lovely balance, creaminess when it's coming through the tongue, but that bit of spice in the back palate from the virgin oak is it's very nice.
Yeah, no, a lot of that's to do with our longer than normal fermentation times. So we've got quite a very orchard fruit forward new make, and then you mix that with with a bit of Oloroso seasoned American oak and some American oak, and then chuck in the good old faithful ex bourbon there as well. But I think that the virgin American oak and the Oloroso seasoned American oak really lends itself well to our new make spirit. And it does bring out those really fruitier, like baked fruitier notes as we go through it.
Yeah.
No, that was lovely, Mickey. I really appreciate that, and again, super support from you. Thank you very much for keeping the faith for last year and coming this year. Next year, I guarantee you're just going to have a Mackmyra tent at the festival.
Do you know what? I'd be more than happy with that situation, Paul. Really, and the support we've had while we were over, when myself and my boss were over for the couple of days, and some of the customers that we saw and everything was just absolutely unreal. So thanks for having us. Thanks for allowing us to showcase what we can bring to the world of whiskey. And it's not just Irish and Scotch available out there that can really blow your minds, guys. Okay.
Oh no, 1,000%. Just because we're all about madness, I think this week. There's a lot of madness going on. Tell us this. There's two things that someone only just pointed out to me, but I'm sure that's been around for a while. Tell me these two very strange things about where some of your casks are being stored, because I wasn't fully aware of this until someone said it's not a joke. You are storing whiskey in some really random places, yeah?
We've got 9 warehouses altogether. Our main maturation warehouse is 50 metres below ground in an ex-iron ore mine. So when the company had stripped all the iron ore out of the mine, they moved out. Then some mushroom farmers moved in because the space down there was perfect for that, and then it became cheaper to import mushrooms and all that sort of good stuff. So they never made it, and then we took it on as our main maturation warehouse. It's one of the only warehouses that I know you actually have to drive down and into and drive through. The humidity down there is like 99% RH, so that's like really intense. So the good thing with that is we don't really have very many greedy angels, so our angel share is very, very small.
Sorry to cut you off. Just how does that affect your ABV? Out of curiosity,
the ABV does take a bit of a hit. Yeah. So where we keep the majority of the liquid, something does have to give, and unfortunately, in this case, it's the ABV. So we've done a couple of went with some independent bottlers recently. And on average, a 12-year-old liquid, you're seeing about 197 litres back on your 200-litre fill, but it's coming in about the 50% ABV mark.
From going in at what? And originally 60?
Going
65?
In at 63.
63, coming out 50. Wow.
No, super stuff. Tell me this: is there any of these barrels on a barge, or is that someone making?
So if everybody goes onto Facebook and has a look at Barge 166, it's actually run by Maison Ferrand, who we've worked with when we've done our anything to do with our rum cask releases. So using plantation rum. So Maison Ferrand have commissioned a barge on the River Seine in Paris. So about a 15-minute walk from the centre of Paris. Walk along the river, and you'll come across a fantastic old barge. And yeah, we've got 30-litre casks about to start maturing in French oak, Barbadian rum finished. Barbadian rum treated French oak, basically.
I just think that's absolutely mad, Jay. That's something that you need to think about. Get yourself a boat, put your casks on it. You know what I mean? It is mental.
It's going to be quite
all right.
No, I'm joking.
It's going to be fun to see how that's going to come about. And how that liquid's going to mature, because you're going to have really active maturation there, because obviously the boat's going to move.
Yes.
We'll be up and down the tide of the river, etc. And the forced air ventilation that's being done there really. So that maturation is going to be really quite rapid. Adding to the fact that it's Barbadian rum seasoned 30-litre casks, you know, you're talking as soon as that hits 3 years, you're going to want to start getting that into a bottle, like, you know. So for anybody unaware, we do 2 30-litre cask programs. If you check out Mackmyra.com, we can tell you all about it on there, and it's pretty interesting. So with the rest of the warehouses, we've got one at the top of a mountain, one in an old armaments depot on an island. There's one in Germany at Bathurst, and a couple of others spread around in some beautiful and fantastic and unusual locations.
Unreal.
That's very cool.
Unreal. Mickey, thank you very much. So, listen, we'll get speaking to you very soon, okay? You
Fantastic.
take care of yourself. Cheers, Mickey. Thank you.
Oh.
Good to meet you, Slanja.
I'm wondering, is there someone else on my shoulder now? Do I have anyone else? No, I'm going to keep. Well, do you know what, Jay? You're here just now, and listen.
Sure.
Let's talk about your whiskey. Okay, so it was a wee surprise one at the end. I think we managed to sneak in this whiskey at the very end.
Yeah.
We had space in this box. I'm excited. You've given me a glass. It says Craft Irish Whiskey Co. on it.
Yeah.
It's got a beautiful kind of label on it.
I'll tell you a little bit about the glass, but I guess not everybody watching will be able to experience the same thing. But we had a YouTube channel. We were here doing some stuff for it last night, and we had that whole debate of what is the best glass to drink a whiskey from. So we pulled every glass, the Glencairns. We even used the Tua, which is a great glass from Rosie. Love her glass, and a bunch of others. Everything from the snifters to the highballs to all the way through brandy glasses. And we whittled it down. Someone then threw in a wildcard, which is a Turkish tea glass, because of a unique shape. So we put that in, and believe it or not, the Turkish tea glass won beyond all of them for eliminating ethanol and making the experience of the whiskey better, but it was just too small. So we then got Tiago Russo, who designs all our products. He's, in my opinion, the #1 designer in the world. Previously, he designed with Macallan products and Altmore, and won so many design awards. Used to be a supercar designer. And he designed the Brullock, and he designed the Devil's Keep and the Emerald Isle and everything else. And he went and he spent about 1.5 years working on this. And if you look down the glass, you'll see this dimple at the bottom. That dimple's there purposely. The bulb is there for a reason. The type of glass we use is not borosilicate and it's not crystal. Crystal, unfortunately, when you're using a high-proof spirit, crystal has lead in it. You can use it for wine, but when you put a high-proof spirit in it, it can actually pull some of the lead out and give off notes to whiskey. Borosilicate conducts heat too much, so it allows you to warm the whiskey too quickly. This soda lime glass nobody's ever used before in whiskey, and that's what they use in the Turkish tea glass. So we use that. It's much thicker, more porous, so it can absorb more of the ethanol. So when the whiskey goes in, that little dimple at the bottom creates like a vortex and spins the ethanol molecules to the edge, and this bulb here catches them. And then the idea of the design here, the chicane that you see here, like in a race car track, slows down the ethanol coming out, and then the divergent rim allows it to come over the edge. So when you actually nose in this glass,